What's going on, guys? Chris here at Clutter Reduction Junk Removal, where we talk about the ups and downs of being a solo owner operator of my junk removal business. And today we are on the fancier side of South Florida in Palm Beach County, which is called Palm Island. It is a very, very wealthy area. Obviously, we're on the water, and it's overall just a beautiful area. But today we're going to be doing a junk removal for a property manager of a high-rise building on the water. We've done work for them last year in December, and they scheduled with me to come back later on in the next month. And basically, they just go ahead and rack up clutter that they have through over, each month or so, put it down in the storage area. And when they get full, they give me a call and I clear it out. So nice little setup we have going on. But we'll go ahead and show you when we get there. So I didn't record any of that loading of the job because the maintenance manager and myself were talking literally the entire time. He's super friendly, he's easy to talk to. Overall, I feel like if it was a 20-year age gap that wasn't there, we could be friends. But overall, it was a lot of debris, tile, concrete, some paint gallons. I don't normally take those, but this is a property management of an apartment building in a very high-end area, so I'm a little bit more lenient about certain things because they're a good customer. But in general, I don't take paint because I'm afraid of it spilling, and I don't take a lot of bulk debris because it's a little bit too much weight for the trailer. So we just got down to everything, went to the dump. I did leave behind a bunch of metal and some scrap stuff that I plan on keeping to use to build things in the future with. So I'll go ahead and show you what I kept and some of the metal that we were able to hang on to. And then next we need to do some touch-ups on the trailer as far as tightening some bolts and my little noise reduction items. So let's take a look at that. So my sign is just a giant piece of aluminum that got wrapped, and I hold it in place with these little bolts, and I just use a washer on the other side of the grid. But eventually they start to get rattled and they get loose, so we have to tighten them, but from both sides. So we have to do that. And then I hate the obnoxious noise of this slamming into this, so I put on these little furniture sliders that help keep the floor safe, and I just screw them on from the back using a bolt and a wing nut, just to kind of help reduce that noise a little bit, and it helps keep it sectioned off of this because this was digging into the actual metal. You can see the grooves there. But as far as metal goes, you have a super long aluminum cast iron, I don't know, they belong to the gate that closes on the parking garage. And he was able to cut it in half with a grinder into two 12-piece sections. I don't take the trailer to the scrapyard, so I need to cut that in half to put it in my truck because we're going there tomorrow morning. They got rid of some blankets, so I'll keep these for when I do side jobs. Also got a nice trash can on wheels, which is cool. They had a hand truck here that was left behind by a contractor. It is missing a wheel on the back end, but that's an easy fix. Overall, it's a pretty good hand truck. I'll just go ahead and clean it up. This is all metal. Those boxes are full of faucets and metal pieces for his sink. And then the big old screen here is aluminum siding, and then I'll use the actual screen for some of our windows at the house. And that is a brand new lamp unopened. Captain Levi for my Attack on Titan fence. And then this is everything else. So a bunch of plywood I'm keeping for home projects. Everything else in here is metal. This is all aluminum poles. This I am saving for somebody I know. Otherwise, everything is metal, metal, metal. So that will all be scrapped tomorrow. It is windy. All right, so we're gonna do this outside because if I go inside, I'm not gonna want to come back out again. So hopefully you guys can hear me with the wind in the background. I am facing the opposite direction of the wind, so I don't think you're gonna get it too bad. And they are doing the lawns, but they're a couple houses down, so hopefully that won't be too bad either. But I like to revisit my SEO on my website and social medias every couple of months just to kind of change around the keywords, check my analytics, kind of see what's being searched, what's not, and then adjust and adapt accordingly. So I wanted to go over some of the ways I've been trying to increase my SEO organically, as in not paying to have it done. And I see rises in my Google search results every month pretty much. I would say on average, about 40 to 45% of my jobs come from Google and searching related specifically, outside of like people looking me up on Facebook or Nextdoor or something. But the majority of it is just Google searches, especially in my home city, which is what I really try to push for. Is I luckily don't have any franchise branches in my city itself. So I try to take advantage of that and really push to make sure that I'm covering all bases in my city because of that advantage. So I want to go over some of the ways I've been trying to increase my SEO organically, and hopefully they kind of give you guys some ideas if you haven't already done any of this. But my notes are over here, so I'm going to be looking that way a lot. So bear with me. So the first thing is quality content. Create a high quality content that's original and provides value to your users. Whether this is relevant keywords, headings, subheadings, or even just being informative and engaging to where you can involve your customers even just through your posts. So like video, for example, is on the rise and has been for about 6 to 8 months now. And if you notice, every platform out there is starting to do some form of shorts, whether it's the Instagram Reels, Facebook Stories, Snapchat has something similar. There's other websites that are doing it similar as well that have nothing to do with social media, but you'll start to notice everything is getting involved in video, and not just video, but short circuit video to keep the engagement and the attention span. I'm not great at shorts, so I don't really do them very often. People don't seem to like them, but you gotta do what you gotta do. The next thing is, of course, keyword research. So I find this super helpful, kind of what that videographer was telling me, where look up what your main term is. So for us, it'd be junk removal, junk hauling, junk pickup, bulk removal, clean out, stuff like that. Look up those keywords and see what Google is producing. Not so much who ranks what, but just look at how they're wording their subtitles, how they're wording their description for the results. You know, what's the first thing you look at when you go to their website? What are some of the big keywords that really pop out? Utilize your sources, like your website builder should have a SEO category where you can basically go through your website and it'll help show you where to plug in phrases and kind of give you like a count of how many main keywords you're really using. So things like that, or looking up ads on Facebook and see who's top trending and then basically copy their ad and try to see, you know, how they're using the keywords to their advantage, whether it's in the title or the description. The next thing is your site architecture. So make sure that your site is easy to navigate, is user-friendly, especially mobile-friendly. You gotta think the majority of people looking for a website are probably gonna be on their phones. So if when you edit your website, it usually gives you an option to look mobile and then desktop. Sometimes your desktop can look perfect, but when you go to your mobile, because it's condensing everything down to a small screen, sometimes your borders may stick out or your picture might not adjust correctly because it's getting smaller in quality and size. Sometimes your videos will kind of take up too much space. Sometimes your wording will be like a little bit too much, and you may want to consider condensing your wording a little bit, or at least adjusting your font and how you set up your paragraph so that it's not just like a super long list on your phone that takes you 5 minutes to scroll through. So make sure that it is easy to navigate and organized and that you're consistent. I saw this on a marketing video a while back that when you're setting up your fonts, try to keep it all the same font. You don't want to have like, you know, scripture here and then Arial here, Times New Roman here, and then some bubble letters down here, and I don't know, some other kind of fonts. Try to keep it all generally the same. It's okay to change the boldness. Like you may want to do the titles bold and the description standard, or maybe you want to do like the italic for maybe anything of value, or like if you're gonna do like an asterisk to specify on a point, that's fine. But try not to go too crazy with the different kind of fonts and the different color fonts either. You want it to be kind of consistent. And then the next thing is mobile optimization. So again, you have to assume that more than half of your searches are going to be on your phone. So making sure that your website is ideal for that, and also your social media. You want to make sure that, you know, if you go to click on your social media, it's easy for your client to find other sources, or make sure they're able to find your website right away and they don't have to go searching for it. Make sure your phone number is visible. You know, you don't have this whole big desktop with all this space to look around. You're condensed to one area. It can be quick to swipe by and miss your website or miss your phone number. And, you know, you just want to make sure that that's clear and the main topic, because you want people to go to your website, or you want people to call you right off the back. And then the next thing is something I'm not super familiar with. I have to kind of learn myself. I've looked into it a little bit, but that is meta descriptions and titles. So make sure all your meta descriptions and page titles are unique and they're relevant to the content on the page. So you don't want to have your title be, you know, how to stay organized using junk removal, and then heard a really loud noise, and then like have your descriptions be talking about, you know, clean outs or something that has nothing to do with organizing. It's just gutting stuff out, or construction debris pickup or something. You know, if you're going to talk about organization and clutter, talk about how, you know, freeing up that space will allow you to better place your items so it doesn't look so overwhelming and so staggered, or something like that. The next thing is link building. So building backlinks and sharing, creating shareable content to basically branch you off to different websites and then back and forth. So an idea for this would be, for example, with the organizer I work with, I have a link on my page to take to her page if somebody's interested in organization. And when you go to her page, when you get down to the bottom, there's a link for them to get to my page, and back and forth. You can also reach out to anyone that you're a vendor with. Maybe you're a vendor at an apartment building. Ask them if they would be willing to place your business and your website at the bottom of their page for junk removal services. So the more people that are visiting these other websites and they scroll down, they're looking around, they see your link, you're opening opportunities for people to then click on that and get led to your website. So the more social medias you can have, the more platforms you can be on. You know, try to reach out to people who have blogs and articles, whether they're big time or small time. Ask them if you can put your information down at the bottom. Maybe in return you can make a page on your website talking about blogs to help people with informative tips. Maybe say, hey, if you put my website on your blog or article, you know, I'll go ahead and put a tag of your blog on my page because it's relevant to me and I can be relevant to you. And all you're doing is you're creating that extra opportunity for somebody to click on you through somebody else's website. The next thing is local SEO. So it is, I think, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is trying to get yourself out there locally. So we're not someone that will sell a product to California if you live in Georgia, right? You need someone to be local. So you want to make sure you can get on local pages, local restaurants, local events, volunteer pages, try to work on your city and see if you can get linked into their events page or their small business page or their vendor list, whatever it is. You want to try to make sure everything is kept local so that when people are looking you up, you're not going to have somebody looking you up who lives in the northern part of your state 4 hours away. They're not going to be able to use you. You guys are so damn loud. The next thing is keeping track of your analytics. So this is something I think everyone should be doing at least weekly, if not monthly, and that is to go to your website, go to your Facebook, your Instagram, see how many people are searching for your service, see how many people are actually clicking on your page specifically. Are they clicking on it and then clicking off immediately after? Are they sticking around for a while? There's a lot of different websites that you can use to kind of show those analytics, and it kind of helps show you how the person got to your page. And then you can also compare it to other people as well, so you can see how you rank. And then the last thing, of course, is consistency. So making sure that you're doing this consistently. Like I said, I don't do this every day, every week, but I do try to every couple of months. I'll go through and refresh everything and make sure everything is on top of where it needs to be as much as possible without having to pay for stuff and without me having to be like a whiz with technology, because I'm not. So these are things I do and have found to be helpful, so I hope they help you guys as well. We're gonna go ahead and get all this metal off and sort it into the truck, and then I have to go give 2 estimates later today, one for a side move job that I did junk removal for in the past. The other one is for that guy who had to go to the emergency room with his sister yesterday. I think that's about it. I think we're gonna spend the rest of the day after that just doing lifestyle stuff. I don't know, but that's it for me. Hopefully those tips help some of you guys out. Like I said, they help me, and if they help me, I would imagine they're probably going to help somebody out there. So that is it for me. I will see you guys later on in the week, and until next time, I hope everyone is staying busy for the end of March. I hope you had a good March. I am starting to pick up again, which I hope means that April is going to be a promising month and will shoot me right into the summer, because the beginning of March was a little wonky, which sucked because last year March was actually super busy for me. So what are you gonna do? Can't fight the economy. But that is it for me. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you. Bye.